I just looked in the back of your truck and I see a lot of front suspension stuff. We're here with Dane Thompson. Why don't you share with our followers what happened to the Malibu?
Well, we took it racing. I do drag and drive, as you guys well know. It's basically endurance drag racing. So I have a drag race car. It's a street car. We drive it from track to track and we race over the span of a week. I traveled to these events and my water pump decided not to cooperate fully that day. It pumped pretty much my entire Champion cooling system radiator onto the track while I was in motion, and I hit a wall at about 120.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The main thing is that, as you alluded to earlier, cars can be replaced, people can't. The fact that you're standing here telling us about this story, what do you attribute that to?
Well, when it comes to drag racing, all cars in general, people like to think, well, my car is not very fast. I don't want to list safety equipment. I don't want to be hot. Like today, it's a hot day. You want to sit in the jacket and do all this stuff. Well, I'm here to tell you, and I'm standing here today and we're smiling and having this conversation because I take safety very serious. I have all the necessary NHRA requirements. I have the Hans device, even though my car wasn't technically going fast enough for that. And I tighten all the belts down like my life depends on it because, like, again, as I can tell you standing here today, in a case like that, it does. And they do what they're designed to do if you take part in having all the equipment that you actually need.
It's unfortunate that the car was wrecked. It was wrecked front to rear. There's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
You stayed through the rest of the event to support your friends in the event. You didn't ball up in the fetal position and crawl on back home with your tail between your legs. But you know, you stayed at the event, you showed the true sportsmanship. The car's rebuildable and it's being rebuilt as we speak.
Well, like you alluded to and asked in the beginning of the video, all the parts in the back of the truck are actually the front of my car. So when we got back, we assessed the damage. I tore it all apart and I had hit the wall and kind of rode it up and it twisted the frame up, and then the back came around and contacted the wall. From the video that you see, the perspective, the car's traveling away, so it looks like I kind of just did a wall ride and went down the wall. Well, in reality, I came across luckily on my side, so it ended up being I was in the right lane. I hit on the passenger side, but the car went up, and thankfully it didn't flip over, but it hit pretty hard, and it wasted everything on that right front quarter of the car. So I had the frame straightened up on front and rear, and then I took it to another buddy's shop, my friend Jason, and he does a lot of off-road trucks and fabrication. He is way better with tubing, and he is a better TIG welder than I am. That's all the man does. Like, he just lays beads like nobody's business. So he's helping me with the chassis portion of it. So we went over there last night. I took everything off the front, and then we took a hacksaw and cut the front frame rails off. That's what you see in the back of my truck there. And we're gonna tube it all out with 1 5/8" chromoly. And we're gonna redo the rear end as well because the rear end hit the wall. So we're gonna brace that up, make sure that that's straightened out. And then I've got all new fiberglass. We're coming back with the Malibu 2.0. And the goal is to go to the biggest drag and drive on the planet, which is being held next year. It's the 10th anniversary of Rocky Mountain Race Week 1.0, and they're combining 2 events into one. They should have over 600 cars. And everybody that was at that first race knows that I wrecked the car, and I've told everybody that we're coming back. So my goal is to come back to the very first track of that event, let off the button, and we're shooting just to pick up where we left off and go even faster.
Awesome. Well, we're glad you're okay. We're glad, you know, that you're bringing the car back, which is good.
Yeah.
Some people will drop back 10 and punt, but you know, this car has sentimental value now. You've got a lot of followers, and you know, Malibu, I mean,
yeah,
how are you going to come up with something else with a different car?
So we are cutting it off and changes the suspension, so I do feel like we should call it the Malibu 2.0 because it's not the same car that it was. So it's going to be in the same trim, same paint scheme, all of it. And I do all that work myself, besides the chassis help that I am getting, because let's be honest, it's a little above my pay grade when we're going to go this fast, and we need to make sure everything is on point. And I work out of my home garage, and we brought the professionals in for that portion of it. But when it comes back to the wiring, paint, all the sheet metal, everything to get it back running again, I've got a new block going together. We're going to have a new Champion cooling system radiator in there because we did damage that in the crash. All of those things you're going to watch right here on the Burndown YouTube channel, and you'll see me do it, and hopefully we can have a great comeback story as a goal.
Thank you for your time and sharing it with us.
Thank you.
And thank you for your spirit.
Thank you.